I find that there are a number of concepts that I have accepted without perhaps fully understanding them over the years. One of these is the idea of accepting and loving yourself. Could you offer briefly some suggestions on how to begin to go about the process of accepting and loving yourself in order to move on to loving others?
I am QO. We are most happy to speak to this subject. For within your heavy chemical illusion, it is very difficult to have an unbridled love of the divine self within. For one is so taken with the surface, inequalities of mundane living, the little disappointments, the little irritations, the hostility, and all of the repertoire of negative emotions, that one cannot even believe that one could possibly be worthy. And indeed, as a human in third density, one is not yet worthy of utter self-forgiveness. Except for one thing. The nature of creation is utterly self-forgiven. In finding that basic truth, you may claim your worth. Let us gaze at it in another manner. Upon the surface, you are one person, and your sphere is populated with many, many other persons, some of which are very much in sympathy with you, many of which have almost nothing on the surface in common with you. Furthermore, those who wish to be of service are walking a tightrope betwixt service gladly given and the service of the doormat. And when one perceives oneself as a doormat because one is, as this instrument would say, nice, one does not feel that oneself is worthy, but rather than oneself is an hypocrite and a liar, or at least one who tells the fib so as not to offend. Move within the self at this moment. Consciously allow the awareness to move through the short-term memories. Now allow all the pain and joy of this experience of incarnation to be gazed at with eyes of love. For you have learned from each and every challenge. You have not reached the self. You are forgiving the imperfections of the self, which an imperfect world was formed on purpose to cause you to feel. If you never felt unworthy, your worthiness would have no passion, no strength, and no stamina. It is only when one moves through the awareness of one's human limitations within third density and accepts each imperfection, each folly, each thoughtlessness as the action of one who simply was not properly tuned. Then you may move on to more fertile territory. Not to forgive an imperfect self, and that is the surface self of each, is to deny that there is more, and that more is a divine mystery which we may only call love. In claiming the worth of the self, it is necessary to gaze at one's relationship with the Infinite One. This entity created you before it created the densities, the stars, and the planets which make up your illusion. You are portions of the active consciousness of the one infinite creator of love and light that is within you. And so you do not honor the small self by feeling worthy, but rather you surrender to the greater self within. And then you may love all of your idiosyncrasies, all of your faults, because you know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that as you slip, you may forgive yourself, pick yourself up, and walk on. You are imperishable. You are creatures of love. Once you have made the difficult choice between serving others as a way of serving the Creator and expressing that relationship, and serving the self and so expressing a relationship of total unity with the Creator, then you have made the decision that this density was created to enable you to make. All upon the outside of the consciousness has a tendency to appear negative and to evoke negative emotion. Consequently, you, as a spirit of light, are gazing constantly at the darkness of one's own earthly vessel. This earthly vessel is made of clay and chemicals and water, and an electrochemical system which enables that which you call consciousness to have a home. And you may be grateful for that imperfect self. You cannot exonerate yourself for the things that you have done amiss. That is not self-forgiveness. When you have done that which you consider amiss, it is well for you immediately to go to the entity whom you feel you have slighted and to create harmony once again betwixt the two, knowing that not only are you an entity of earth, but also the other is similarly befuddled and confused in a sea of illusion that is the third density. You must go deeper. You must move from the mind which condemns, judges, evaluates, and so forth, to the heart, where resides that infinite spark of imperishability which is the Creator within. It is this portion of the self that is worthy, and because you carry within yourself, within this earthly vessel, the glorious perfection of the Infinite One, so you may move into the point of view of that within you which is the Creator, as the Creator forgives a perishable, various woeful entity for making the errors of childhood. Yes, the universe, the Creator has already forgiven all that you may do. Yourself, however, must forgive the self. Be at peace with the self. Acknowledge all of the things of the self and attempt, as much as possible, to become better. It is well to realize that perfect behavior is not only impossible, but meaningless. It is the heart, the love, the emotion that makes you worthy, and as the intensity of your love of the Creator, and your love of fellow men, and your love of yourself grow, so shall you become a more and more metaphysical, light being, moving affirmatively from your strength, that is, the Creator within, rather than running from, avoiding, or being embarrassed about many errors that any limited, somewhat ignorant, and often biased child might make. You in the third density have chosen to be children. You are children of the one infinite creator. Are you less than worthy? A child may misbehave, but a child is forgiven. You are prodigal. You have squandered your inheritance. All who are earthly in third density have so done, with extremely few exceptions. Yet, by doing so, you strip away from yourself the illusion that this will bring pleasure, that will bring satisfaction. Control will give you what you want, and demand will always be heard. A sense of worthiness comes as one becomes aware of oneself as the worthy servant, the least of all, one who is always in error, yet one who carries an imperishable, holy, and divine spark of the Creator. To see oneself as a cell in the body of creation is a most helpful concept, because as you gaze in thought at your own anatomy and physiology, you may see that each cell is equally important. The skin, the muscles, the mind, the simple reaching out of the hands that is possible because you are in physical existence. These are causes for rejoicing. These are causes for thanksgiving and praise. For you have the opportunity to act as a channel, a worthy and loving channel for the infinite love and light of the one Creator. Self-acceptance is a good start upon self-forgiveness. To accept one's faults as they are, paradoxically, is to open oneself up to the possibility of change, growth, and transformation. We thank each of you and would at this time close the meditation, wishing each to respect and seek the heart within, the deep intuition within, not to degenerate the earthly vessel in which you move, for though it makes many, many errors, yet it has the hands to give, the mouth to speak, the eyes that offer the softness of a loving glance, the breast that may give the babe nourishment, the loins that shall produce souls whom one may love and by whom one may experience the incredible gift of unconditional love. Love one another, my friends, unconditionally. And if there is a condition, use the intellect for that which it was made. It is a burrow. Load it with the information and let it climb the mountain to the answer. We are no more worthy than you. We are all seekers, all pilgrims, and all imperfect. We could suggest that one may look forward to a time when one is not so, shall we say, imperfect as seen by the self. But we assure you that these feelings of unworthiness, insecurity, and other feelings of this kind are designed completely by yourself before the incarnation to teach you to love, and to love that which is imperfect is to make it worthy.
We gotta get going.
No. Stick around. Hang out with us.
Cool. Yeah, we'll stay and hang around with yous.
with Alice Cooper.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're stuck! We're stuck!
Examine your soul. All that is within you. The bad, as you would call negative emotions and ideas, and the good, as you would call positive emotions and ideas. But the source of your worth is that which makes the universe one, and yourself as a citizen as important as any, as worthy as any. You are a part of the infinite creator. You are worthwhile, necessary, and beloved. May you love yourself enough to move the imperfections out of the way of your service and never ever to hold a grudge against the self, but to forgive the self, to intend a newness which is less imperfect in the ways of doing things. As always, meditation is the great tool. Prayer, as this instrument understands it, is also a great tool when one is upset with another, for one may pray for that other, and in so doing heal the self of negative emotion, as well as being affected in prayer and uplifting of the self in consciousness. We leave you with that desire to be uplifted, to be transformed, and indeed many times to be uncomfortable. Comfort is for those who are asleep. Comfort is for those of whom someone is willing to tell them exactly what to think about everything. It is a comfortable life. One can attain fourth density light by this means, but it is very difficult. For a feeling of richness and completion of the self is the same problem exactly as the feeling of a great mass of wealth. Clinging to one's possessions is not necessary. When you have made your peace with the imperfections of the self, wait until you feel the presence of the Infinite One, of your guidance, of your comforter, and at that point say, I wish to do the will of my greater self. I surrender my imperfection. I surrender my imperfect human self. What would you have me do? Be willing, that is the key. Be discriminatory. Those discriminations are the lions that guard the truth. In this truth, love, light, peace, and joy of the infinite Creator, we leave you with blessings and ever flowing love for those who are awake and seeking. We are those known to you as QO. Adone, my friends. Adone Vasu.